Hi guys, David Angelini here, just looking to thank you for listening to our Insight Debate podcasts. As we push into the summer, we hope to be launching some of our NFL content, and also we'll be hoping to provide some cover of the NBA playoffs to go alongside our core television and movie content. Stay tuned and let us know what you think of our guest appearances from around the globe and our key contributors as we drive on to provide more podcast and written content. Enjoy. Hi there, it's Insight Debate guys coming to you with some television podcasts this time rather than movies. So we've got me, David Angelini, Irvine McDonald, who's shy, Katie McDonald.
Hi.
And we're going to start off with Westworld. It's a movie, not a movie. It is a movie actually.
It's not a movie.
It is a movie.
Well, it is a movie. Was it a movie the first time?
It's a movie
not
from the 70s with Ewan.
I honestly don't know, I've not seen it.
Oh, what's his name? I was going to say Ewan Bremner, but it's not Ewan Bremner. No. It's
Yul Brynner?
Yes.
Is that it? Yes.
It's a movie from the 70s with Yul Brynner, and it was shit. And it's nothing at all like the TV show.
Allegedly so, that's what I've heard, which is why I've not seen it. But yeah.
It's a classic. So this is
TV adaptation.
Yes, it's the intellectual property reimagined for television.
I thought it was on the BBC as a TV programme. Am I getting mixed up with something else?
Possibly.
Was it not? Is that not what it's
You're not thinking of Doctor Who?
I
can see why you could get confused.
You find that out, right?
We'll
talk about
Westworld when we're talking.
We'll
come back to this later.
It was made as something in the 70s that was a bit
of shit. It's definitely a TV show. I think there was even a sequel as well called Medieval World.
There was I think it was 2 films. That's what I think. It was 2 movies, and it was like Westworld and some slightly more sci-fi. I know it is, but like even more so.
It was god awful in it.
Apparently so. So they've reimagined it and they've done awful well.
I mean, it was a long time coming as well. I think it took them like 10 years to produce this, to actually get it to work.
In the making.
It was cancelled in production. I believe at least 5 times.
Yeah.
Where funders were just getting sick of it and getting tired of it. And
I read that because it's such a huge undertaking.
Yeah, and not seeing where it was going to be profitable, or if it was ever going to work. And you can see why that is.
It's a bit of a gamble. It doesn't really fit. I mean, where would you even...
I mean, it's just how...
It's drama, but it's sci-fi, but it's not...
Just how meticulous every single little part of the production is.
Yeah.
Like, we were talking a minute ago about the intro, and the intro music and the intro kind of credits, the opening credits to it, where you've got these, like, very, very detailed, images of how these robots are made, and with the horse and the kind of skeleton at the piano.
And this is what I was saying, and the way I see it is it's like the beauty of life. It's like things, and it's like the horse running and kind of art, but it's created by the machines, and it's an interesting little...
Even if you consider just the production value of the intro, you can see why every part of this has been so meticulously crafted that it has taken a long time, and you can see where people have maybe jumped ship because they can't see how it's ever going to make more money than it costs. But I think it's been so worth it. It's one of the best things last year that was on television.
I think visually it's stunning, and the in terms of the sound and music as well, and it's just perfect. Although I'm not a huge fan of the programme, I think that's one of the best things about it is it is absolutely perfect when it comes to the sound, and when it comes to the picture. The visuals are just unbelievable in it. They've not I don't think they've spared any expense in getting it to look perfect.
I know they film it on location, so it is partly this huge soundscape that it's supposed to be I know it's supposed to be a sort of enclosed world, but it's humongous. And it is actually filmed out in the desert, and it's just a whole big... It's a huge undertaking.
And...
Because then it's like period, in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's Western, so then it's...
And it's also sci-fi.
Like that.
And it's sci-fi.
And there has to be the effects to make it sci-fi, and it's a lot, all things to all people.
Never mind how much it costs for Anthony Hopkins. Like, what his checks
aside from that.
What his checks look like these days. How much did Transformers pay for him, do you think?
I don't even want to think about it. When I heard his voice in the trailer, I was just like, whoa.
I was like, oh, am I going to see this? It's just...
I know.
It's strange as well, because he's quite an elitist actor that doesn't...
He's difficult.
He doesn't do things that are shit normally.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised they even took the paycheck.
There's all sorts of anecdotal, anecdotes from Transformers where he's left the production and not understood what the fuck is happening.
He doesn't care.
Maybe he's just fucking senile.
No, he just doesn't give a shit anymore.
cashing checks.
But
Good
no,
on
they,
him, though. Deserves
I
some
feel
checks.
like in Westworld they got their money's worth out of him.
Yeah.
Like he's absolutely the best thing about it.
It epitomises the entire production. Like every single tiny bit of this whole thing is so deliberate, just like every word that he says.
Yeah.
So I keep saying meticulous, but just so deliberate and so thoughtful, considered.
His performances are always considered, but like it fits right in with whatever this is. Like whether it's the kind of sci-fi, he's a sort of morally ambiguous. I don't know whether it,
he's always, but that's his
thing, and he's so good. He's so good.
He gets this astounding ability to convey so much in what he doesn't say. I don't know. It's not even. It's such an intangible thing, but it's just how he looks and doesn't say things, and the long pauses between his words as he slowly gets a short sentence out, but it takes ages. And
he's a whole performance.
He's got a little smirk as well. You know, like he says so much by not saying anything. I think, and he does it a lot as this character Robert Ford, where he's clearly the puppet master. And
he's kind of like he's the creator, the original creator of this place, but he's sort of been, I think, sidelined over time, and he doesn't like it.
I think over the course of it becomes clear though that he's actually in control.
Yeah, very much so.
And you know that he lets other people think that they have some influence or control.
Where do we lie on spoilers?
I mean, I don't know. I guess we're going to we'll just deep dive into it, because if you haven't seen Westworld at this point, Gavin.
But you do, hi Gavin, watch Westworld, or we're not speaking anymore. Is that true? Really?
He's not seen it.
Jeez, oh. Yeah, so no, like I think we were all watching it, I kept saying,
Gavin, you need to watch Westworld. I was like, I'll wait till it's all at the end. I'll wait till it's in and then binge all of it. I was like, no, but that's not how you're supposed to watch Westworld. Also,
well, that's kind of what we did. But at the end of the day, that was like January, and this is June.
It's more embarrassing than being a virgin.
Wow. Fine talk.
You went there.
We're all thinking it.
Yeah. Where were we? No, we were talking about spoilers, but we're just going to go right for that.
I will just deep dive into it. So if you haven't watched Westworld, go and watch it and then come back.
Because
it's 10 hours.
Let's pause now.
It's 10 hours that you will not regret spending on television. Especially, I mean, I'm starting to open some of the articles I'm writing about television now by saying that. Like, saturated content and, you know, blah blah blah. So if you're gonna spend 10 hours of your life test driving something, and when there's so many different cars to drive, you just want to be sure that you're getting a good, that you're going to spend, especially when you don't know it's good until like 4 or 5 hours into it, and by then you've wasted 4 or 5 hours. But this is not that kind of television show where you're going to get 5 hours into it and be like disappointed. You're there and you're enjoying it straight away. And
then by the end of it, you're just like agog. Well, I was the last episode. I was like,
yeah, it's amazing. Start to see a little bit of it coming together though. Like
I did, but at the same time, the very end, like.
Yeah, there was that part of the beauty of how this is, of how it's designed and how it's edited and then, you know, made for television, is that every episode gives, if you watch it week on week, which is how it's supposed to be watched, there's a week long, a bit like Game of Thrones, there's this week long period where the internet just explodes and everyone's got a theory, try to figure out what's happening, and there's dialogue, there's water cooler talk for that whole time, and that's like at the end of every episode, every week. That's what it's designed for.
Yeah, because it's filmed in that sort of, this is some of the present, and then we go back into the past, and then it's the future, and then you don't know when it is, and you don't really know.
That's a big spoiler.
What you're looking at.
Because it's put forward in such a way that it's put forward in such a way. No, it is. I mean, no, it's fine for spoiler, but that's like the main thing, isn't it? That's like the main.
That's what we were doing.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Okay.
No, we're fine.
Sorry.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that's like the main thing, is when you realise
you don't really know.
You don't know
when you're looking at.
There's two timelines here. So it's so good. I can't praise this TV show enough, but I guess we should be a bit more structured in how we're criticising it now. So the writing.
We'll go the way I go with the reviews of them. So we'll talk about the writing, kind of writing plot, general, so the themes, over the top, and then we can kind of go
themes. A lot of similar themes from what we had in Battlestar Galactica. So there's a lot of transhumanism there. A lot of, you know, the moral dilemma of artificial intelligence. What is a human? What does it mean to be human? Does having an emotion simulated or otherwise make it real or not. So I feel like that's the main theme.
It is the
probably.
main theme, I guess, especially with like Maeve and her whole.
Yeah.
I think the visuals are very
process.
deliberate on that point in the writing as well, where you start to have empathy for these robots, but the way that they've done it is that the robots are played by real people, and you only see them every so often. You'll see that they're robots, but most of the time they look like real humans, and that's
immersive.
very deliberate
Yeah.
to help you to have empathy for them, because if they were a bit more robotic, then it would be a bit.
Yeah, you wouldn't have the same immersion.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have the same reaction.
The same
to
buy-in
some
to
of
their
them.
character.
Yeah.
But there's enough about them that they're not completely human as well. They do. It's just subtle.
Yeah,
but
the performances of anyone who's supposed to be a host and not a bit, are like all of them are outstanding, because there is a little element of
the only one.
not quite
the
real,
only one
and
that
then
I
they
don't-
can switch between their interview state and their like in-world state.
The only one that I don't think is good at that is James Marsden. I think
Really?
he's too.
Too real.
He just seems like he's just a person. I don't think he's as good at that. But
then maybe that's part of his character.
is it? I always say this wrong. Is it Rachel Evanwoods?
Evan Rachel
Dolores,
Woods. Yeah.
Dolores. She's very good at that.
She's
I think she's very believably a real human and a robot.
They
Which-
digressed a little into like characters and
But see,
stuff.
what she's absolutely outstanding at actually is conveying so many different emotions in just in her facial expression. She does a lot of silent acting.
Yeah.
A lot of facial acting where it's just like, you know, contemplative, and you can see maybe
You can
like
see the thought process.
she's
turning.
remembering parts of her past that she's not supposed to be remembering, and you just see that kind of
Realizations and
Yeah.
epiphanies
and that's just so there's so much unspoken there that she puts across to the audience that
I know.
I mean, how underrated is that? Like, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that in the context of the Emmys
I know.
yet. Are we? Did they win Emmys? Was
She
it
got
Tippett?
nominated, I think, and didn't win.
Yeah, there's just not enough appreciation for what she's doing, and that's not just her. Like you say, there's so many.
Not. I remember us talking actually when we did the article or writing about. I think they got nominated for a fair few things and nothing really won, and it was for me it was like the biggest mistake of what happened to the Emmys, because there's so much there and it's just not. I think it's just not quite mainstream enough to be considered, and it's a problem obviously with a lot of things. But
Yeah.
I think that's the main issue. But it's silly because that is the kind of main, I suppose,
Amy Adams.
manifestation of you saying about
I think though there's.
what's it to be human. I think it's that's how we got onto that, because it's like
her
the
character
difference.
almost single-handedly puts that dilemma across to the
Oh,
audience,
but-
because you know it's all that conflict with it inside her, that where does she think she's human, or is she starting to feel these things that she's not programmed to feel? All that. It's conveyed so easily without explicitly spoon-feeding the audience that information, and you just experience it and feel it and understand it in this totally unspoken way. That's gold. Like, that's absolute gold in terms of writing, I think.
And I think that, I mean, it's slightly more obvious, but it's still a thing they use a lot, is certain people, not all of them, but some of them, like the humans, like the true humans in it, are sort of stripped of their humanity, and they're not necessarily the nicest of people, and it's like, do they actually have less humanity than some of these hosts?
Well, there's like the Man in Black, especially. He's
losing his humanity over his like
because he's so
desperate
much,
quest to be deeply embroiled in this, and it's like, as he lost his humanity, I suppose, as in a lot of contact with her, she's like gaining hers.
So I think
So there's a kind of
if we jump onto the Man in Black a little bit as well, there's a whole kind of sub theme there with him and his it's not explicit, it's quite subtle, but there's a whole thing there about video games and where the natural progression of video games could end up, because if you think about Westworld, it's a place where rich people go to have sex and kill people and drink and have fun. It's a big video game that
it's
you
a big Grand
experience.
Theft Auto.
That's exactly it. It's
it's
Red
a
Dead
place
Redemption.
where you can explore the darkest side of humanity without any legal consequences.
And
basically.
he's the most extreme participant in that,
Yeah.
because everything it is all a game. It's a maze. It's something that he has to try and figure out and get to the next level of.
And you find out obviously that he's like basically wasted his whole life
Trying to do it.
no trying to do it. Like,
I think the video game part of it is a big reason, one of the main reasons why people like it so much as well, because everyone has that morbid curiosity where if that was a real thing you would want to go in and there's things that you
do things that are socially unacceptable.
Yeah.
And I
Because
guess
like,
that's
there's no
the-
consequences.
Yeah, like I don't know if this makes me sound crazy, but if you're watching and you think, what would it be like to go in and stab a person, for example, but they're not a real person, so you know that you're not doing anything bad, and
Yeah.
it feels like stabbing a real person, and there's no consequences
But
whatsoever. So it's like kind of
taboo.
yeah, it's taboo, and it's appealing. Like you kind of want it. You kind of feel like if that was real, you would want to do that.
Well,
you want
that's
to try
the
it, and you would
implicit
enjoy
sort of
it.
thing
Yeah.
that they're saying. Obviously, like the way people react in Westworld is all different, because it's like there's people who would just go in and wreak havoc
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
your-
fun,
your-
and then there are people who would.
It's your
be
black hat,
reticent.
white hat thing. Subtly depict the
Like-
Jimmy Simpson's character goes and chooses a white hat right at the start of it.
Yeah.
I'd like to
But
go.
even
I'd like
the
to go
young
in
William
twice.
and his friend.
Yeah.
His friend's an asshole, and he's just like.
Yes, yeah, but
encouraging
he
him,
picks a
kind
black
of,
hat, and he
Yeah.
picks a white hat, and
If it was me, I'd like to go in twice and try one each, like
Yeah.
defend
Yeah,
them
but
and stuff
you
like
would,
that. See what
like-
it's like, and go in and we'll just fucking murder everybody.
it should surprise you that's exactly the way I enjoy my video games though. I do one like,
Yeah.
if you know, like you get your games like Infamous and Grand Theft Auto where you can make the morally good choices and then the morally bad choices.
Yeah,
You go and do
like-
it both. You do both of them.
Like in the new Resident Evil, actually, there's a bit in it where you get like a distinct choice where it's like
Yeah, you pick between Zoe and Mia.
and Mia, yeah. Obviously, Zoe just to be a pure dick.
I have absolutely no idea what's going on here, but yeah, I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
There is a kind of moral. Like, yeah, it's a place where people go to kind of explore other sides of themselves, but not everyone's as open to that, and that's kind of what.
See, even in real life, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that people that have this catharsis or this emotion and this energy, this negative energy through video games are less likely to go and cause crimes. It's not an exact science, but every time a game like Grand Theft Auto comes up, then youth crime drops. Now is that because they're getting this catharsis through
Yeah.
playing a violent video game and not doing violent things to people, or is it because they're all off the streets playing?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who knows?
with something like Westworld, when it goes a bit further than that, there's a kind of question of like how much is acceptable, like how far is too far, and like
Yeah.
there's an ethical question over.
I feel when you've
All of it.
set out on a quest to scalp as many robots as you can, that's a bit worrisome.
The
Well,
relation.
yeah, there's a kind of sort of rapey aspect with the Man in
Oh,
Black
man,
and
oh,
the
yeah,
Loris
like-
as well, and
yeah,
obviously that's not a person, but
I mean,
you know
that's it.
that person, he's a human, and there's an impulse in him there that
That's never
needs to be
explicitly
questioned.
played out either, but there's
there's
that
a
whole
definite
thing.
undertone at the
Is it-
start when
the-
you don't
the-
really know who
Yeah,
he
it's
is.
like people are going into this world and raping people and to kind of release that part of themselves that they're not likely to release
I don't know,
into
it's like,
society.
is that better, or
Yeah.
does it just mean that they've
They just
got
get them a taste
issues?
for it.
Yeah, exactly.
The interesting.
And
the
then
really-
you have to sort of, I mean the narrative of the show is that they're kind of gaining humanity, so then at what point does that not become acceptable
Yeah,
anymore?
they're starting to remember these horrible
Because
experiences.
some of them
Yeah.
remember being raped and killed and losing a child, and it's where does it stop being a game for all of them?
I think they made a really interesting decision as well. I don't know if it will change later on, but you see almost nothing of the outside world.
Yeah,
You don't know what the outside world is like. You
Yeah,
don't
you
even
don't
know.
actually see anything, I
you-
don't think, apart from the train station.
The only things that
They-
are
And
not in the fantasy
yeah.
world are mostly based in and around
The
the
office
offices.
kind of entrance
And
place.
I think there's a bit
There's like a
in the
bar
hotel
on the roof, yeah,
when
where they
when
drink.
Bernard
the office
and the
one,
woman.
yeah.
But
Bernard.
they're really deliberate about that, so you don't actually know when this is set either.
Yeah,
It
that's
could
the
be
thing.
set now. It could be
Yeah,
set in
is
the
it-
past. It could be
Is
set.
this
I
on a
think
different
that's-
planet?
I think
that's
that's
another thing that's been on the
And-
forums. Is this on Earth?
You
I've
get
never really
enough-
thought about the Earth, but I think I definitely said to you, like, there's nothing to suggest how far in the future this is meant to be or where it's meant to be. Like, obviously it's like, you know, North America-ish, but that's a big place.
You get no idea as well.
Has there been some sort of Hunger Games nonsense in the outside world? What is the state? What is the state of the outside world?
Yeah. They almost hint that there's issues.
Yeah. You get no idea as well of how this impacts the outside world. So we were talking about, like, would that like video games, would that make people less likely or more likely to commit crimes and stuff? You never see how that's impacted. You never, like, this, if this, you don't know if this is one of a kind or if there's loads of things like this. And if it is one of a kind, it would probably be on the news quite a lot because it's quite controversial. So you don't get to see what public opinion is, if people think it's bad that people are getting to do this, or if people think that it's a good thing.
It's a very isolated circumstance, and I think it's interesting, but I would like, to see more now. I think it was good for the first series, but I think I would like to know some of these details going forward.
I think the more you learn about this, the more it's going to be like Lost. The more they try and, I don't think they ask too many more questions than they answer. It's all implied, and it's all us that are making that are making all this and generating all the hype from it. I think they kind of did a little head fake towards the samurai world at the end of this season, with there's a room full of like samurai outfits or robots or whatever.
Yeah, they're like new hosts for the new storyline.
So that's So there's like, if you're a fan of the movie, then you know that there was a medieval world and a Rome world, and you know that was all shown in the movie.
That's the thing. Maybe
so that's what people have been waiting for. It's like, okay, where's medieval world? Where's Rome world? And they didn't do either of them. They went samurai world.
But
so
maybe they all coexist. Maybe this is part of like a larger complex. Where you can pick which world to go into, and that's another thing. It is all a choice. Like, these are not people that are being, I don't know, sent there or put there. It's not like these are just rich people that want to. That are just bored. They're like, the reason I brought up the Hunger Games is because it reminds me a lot of that, of like the capital people that are just rich and pointless, and that's the kind of people that are going to play in this game. But it's kind of an odd. And
almost
an odd commentary.
Almost begs the question: what are they escaping from? Like, what are they trying to get here to get away from for a little while and enjoy? Because only the rich people can.
I know. That's why I would like to know some detail about what the state of the world outside is.
If I was writing it, I would drag it out as much as possible. I wouldn't go straight to that.
No, I would just a wee bit.
I think there is a little bit in the outside world about William's backstory. Is there not? Is he not working in?
It's more about
office. He's like an investment.
No,
they talk a little bit about it.
I think
they reference it back
when
they're
or certainly was when he was young. That's like his brother-in-law or something. It's not his friend Logan.
Do you not see them at work though?
No, I think they just talk about it on the train.
Oh, really?
I'm sure the only bit you see are like in and around the kind of
it's all referenced. It's all referenced back, but he's saying, "Oh, you're a goody two shoes in the real world, and you come here and you're being a goody two shoes. You're wasting it. What's the point?"
You see, they're kind of again Hunger Games, a kind of control centre for the like working, and that's really about it. But
I never thought of it in the same. That is basically the same console as Hunger Games.
It's a very similar, like.
The controlling the whole park from there.
Yeah, like a system, but do it in a very different way.
Or I can't really think they aren't controlling the park from there. They think they're controlling the park.
Well, yeah, because Ford's controlling all sorts from all places.
Yeah. So there's that. You know, again, I could plunge into these themes of transhumanism and.
It's like about humanity, morality, and kind of.
Quickly, what do you think of that? Do you think these robots are? If they're programmed to feel that way, is that really feeling? If they're programmed to exhibit all and simulate all those emotions?
Yeah, because who's to say what? I mean, you could go into like crazy tinfoil hat nonsense about like who's to say we're real and what we feel is real. So like what? Like, yeah. Why not?
Yeah. I don't know.
If the illusion of pain is still painful, then what doesn't qualify it as like real? It's real for them, so that's real enough. Surely, it feels real to them.
Yeah.
But then, what does it feel like to them? Because
they obviously hurt. because he can tell.
But do they hurt?
No, I mean emotionally.
But do they? That's the
Aye,
question.
do they, or are they just reacting that way because that's the way?
The program.
Well, I guess that's the thing we don't know.
To simulate these emotions as much as possible.
Well, I guess that's a question we don't have the answer for.
That's
because it's like the thing with Maeve at the end with the train. She's going to leave, and then she doesn't leave. But does she not leave out of genuine choice, or has she been programmed to not leave as part of her story?
That's the thing. So the forums explode with. Has she done that? Has she been programmed to do that? But when, at the point where she actually has the opportunity to leave, she can't.
Yeah, that's like her programming is limited to there.
It's interesting as
or
well.
is it a choice she made because she's really become that?
It's interesting as well because that is like the divide between whether something is sort of possible or just sort of ridiculous, but you never know which one it is. You don't know, because fair enough, they're so human-like that it's not possible in this day and age, but that could easily be possible in the future. And if they're all programmed these ways and they're programmed to learn and stuff, that's things that they're like intellectually capable of doing right now. So that's not actually that far-fetched, but if they're starting to learn and starting to become like sentient, then that is a bit more ridiculous. But you don't know watching it how ridiculous the program actually is, how ridiculous the premise is.
I suppose they've
because it's swinging between this line.
Explain that by the fact that Ford has made some of them like this. Certain ones of them have this next level. They don't all, or maybe they all have the capability for it, but they don't all currently.
Yeah.
Some of them have been tampered with in his kind of infinite wisdom, and so that I guess they're just trying to explain that away by he can do all things because he created this place.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess we'll need to wait and see.
So we'll go back around the performances. So
yeah, kind of character performance.
So obviously Anthony Hopkins is the star of the show. I'm not convinced he's not going to be in the next season.
I think he'll definitely be in it.
I don't even know what Westworld without him looks like, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know, because he's like it sounds almost like a pun, but he's the puppet master.
At the very least, they'll be in it in flashbacks.
Yeah, I think that's the way that they'll kind of get around it.
Either that, or they'll have created
a robot
version of him.
Or he'll have created a version.
You'll have built that in.
Or the one that got killed was actually a robot in the first place.
Well.
Yeah, fuck's sake. This is
Season 2 spoilers, sorry.
Yeah. You heard it here first. They'll find a way, because he's the centre. He's holding it all. He's the glue that's holding all. Because it's quite not scattered, but there's a lot of things going on, and he's kind of at the centre of all of it. So he needs to be there.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would like if it was just that was him really dead. Spoiler. Killing himself. If he was really dead and it was just chaos, and I can't believe that. I think there's so much control implied there that
he's
I
too
can't see it.
Yeah,
I can't see it just being like no control anymore.
Pure characterization from he's too. He wouldn't allow that to happen. He would have thought about all this. He would have planned for all of this.
Was he killed by Bernard?
Dolores?
No, it was Dolores.
Oh, it was Dolores.
How good was that kill as well? Like, was it he says before?
Is it not? Did he not go back to the violin ends quote?
No, it's a Mozart thing he mentioned. It was something like.
It was so Hannibal it made me sick, but I can't actually now remember it.
See, like when we composers, when they die, they become music. Like something. So it was like the whole. I wrote all this story, and now I'm going to be the story.
Which is why he'll be in it, because he'll have.
Yeah.
All of this will be part
that almost
plan,
explicitly tells you that that's not the end of it.
Yeah,
it's like
I've
just transcended this now, and I am it. Like,
because he'd been kind of coaching and working her up to this throughout the whole series, I guess. So it's definitely part of something greater.
Yeah, I'd say how good was Jeffrey Wright in this as well? The guy who played Bernard.
Yeah,
good,
so
I mean,
good.
Like that
again, just like in our turmoil, in our conflict, and just
because that spoiler, the fact that he's a host, never saw it coming, not even for a second.
I started to see it coming.
I genuinely didn't. I was horrified. I was like, what the fuck? know, I was.
I can't remember the signals, but they started to give signals in the dialogue and the way he was talking and stuff he was saying.
Do you know sometimes when they do it so good you just don't hear it?
Yeah.
Unless they and I just didn't hear it, so I was really shocked. But it was great. It was like a great twist at that
Just
time. It was the right time for it.
Knowing how they write, again, it's back to Battlestar Galactica. Knowing how that people tend to write these themes, they do that where they flip it on you and go, oh well, see that guy that you love, he's a robot as well. If you were like anti-robot and didn't think these people were real, then think about this. So I thought that was coming somewhere. But it was maybe an episode or two before it where I thought, oh, maybe because they did.
Maybe it's because you have that prior knowledge, because I've never seen.
Did they not do a thing with his name? Is something like an anagram?
I don't know.
As well.
It was to do with his backstory and how it was all.
Yeah.
You were getting bits and drabs, and it was sad, but then it's not real. It's just part of his programming. It gives him the imperative.
I seem to vaguely. This is not like a great point to make on air, but I seem to remember something to do with an anagram with the name Bernard somewhere.
I don't remember that, but maybe there was. It seems like that kind of level of
but it's like just shows you how like there's absolutely no need to be that deliberate and meticulous about how like every single aspect of this, but that it was that deliberate.
But I love things like that.
It's like Nocturnal Animals and
I know.
shows like that where nothing is accidental and everything has another meaning and a sub. Like everything all impacts. Everything impacts everything else in really subtle ways that you have to
kind of looking back on things that are
you can enjoy it.
They're all foreshadowing. Everything's leading to somewhere, but you don't actually see it. It's all under the surface.
It's worth a rewatch. I might just rewatch it now.
It is worth a rewatch, but I think I'm going to save it until just before series 2.
Yeah, now that you know what the twists are and what the bombshells are, to watch it again, and now you'll start to see where the Arnold hints are getting dropped in everywhere. Arnold.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Arnold.
Just accidentally. Arnold. Bernard.
See, that's more something I saw coming. I didn't see the Bernard thing coming, but I did kind of start to get what was going on with his history sooner than they wanted to. But I think it was good.
It's how affectionate he was when he was talking about Arnold, his partner Arnold, and how affectionate he was to Bernard as well.
I think it was she goes on and on and on about the person that speaks to her and like the man, but I think there was at one point I just out of nowhere almost or subconsciously was like, I wonder if that's been this Arnold, and then it was that had been kind of talking to him. Because that's how he's run it, that's how he's programmed it. It's like the voice of Arnold is like the voice of I don't know God.
Yeah.
Are we going that far? But like that's the way he's set his world up almost.
That's really interesting as well, the way that Bernard is basically programmed to think that he is a real human and he's controlling the robots. Whereas none of the other robots have that kind of awareness of that existence. They all just think that everyone's a real human.
Yeah, they think they have a social structure, but they don't think, like, I don't even know the words, they don't see outside themselves that way, but he does. Like, it's and so then he's as shocked as the audience has to find out that he's a robot.
But upset about it too, like not happy about it, like really.
And that's an ethical question itself. That's horrible. Not that he's real, but his pain seems to be real enough. Yeah. And you think
that would suggest that it's not like a simulated thing, because it seems that Ford has just set this all up and then revealed it to him to see what his reaction is.
Yeah.
Well,
not programming a reaction, but just seeing what would happen.
Well,
maybe that's just part of an experiment to see how,
or maybe
to try and see if it's real. Because I think the point is they're given sort of, they're not given reactions, but they're given sort of baseline motivations.
Yeah.
That
narratives.
Yeah, there's all like small.
core
not even the narratives, but it's just like they've all got programming in them.
They've all got core motivations, like how they would react to certain things.
Yeah, so I think
personality types almost.
Like James Marsden picking up the can.
Like someday and all that kind of hopeless romantic.
What I mean is every event isn't black and white. I think that there will be tens or maybe even hundreds of different motivations, and everything that happens will impact everyone slightly differently. So these combination
they
of
have like an algorithm
emotions,
of basic free will.
yeah. So these combination of emotions manifests its way in a way that's not predictable because every situation is different. So it affects maybe these 100 different parts of their thing, and those 100 things go together to create a reaction. So you never really know quite how they're going to react, and I think he maybe wants to see if it's realistic.
Like push the boundaries of that as far as he possibly can.
Or possibly it was just because he needs to use them, both before and after. They know he's like a tool that he's using, and maybe he needed him to be in that mental state to do this, and then in a more aware state to do this. And I don't know. It could be
one thing that always kind of I don't remember this ever being revealed, but see as you have that big reveal with Bernard in the kind of underground, it's underneath the house, the little laboratory that's sitting there. When that whole big reveal's happening, there is a robot. You see the kind of white skeletal outline of a robot being created in the kind of chamber, and you never find out what that robot was.
No, you don't. But maybe that's
what, like,
because you're focused on.
Is that Ford?
Obviously. Well.
Is he making, like, because that kind of they drop that in and it never tells you why.
I always thought, is he making an Arnold? Does he make himself a new Arnold?
Yeah. Or is it Dolores? Or
he's in the Ford that got stabbed.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Is he even? Well, I can't wait for series 2.
That's another one of the things about it as well. Is you end up like doubting everybody. You're like, is he real?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The next big reveal will be that one of the robots is actually a real person.
The main ones that you've seen have all been kind of deprogrammed and sent back in, so I think we're maybe past that.
See,
but
we're about to go in. I feel like we're about to go into a whole new, like, samurai world where they can start introducing these new characters again and bring new talent.
Because that's what they do, isn't it? They just use them for different, like, they play a role for so long. And
there's nothing to say as well that these aren't actually the same way that Bernard was a real person. At some point, like, he's based on a real person. There's nothing to say that these people don't all exist in the real world as well.
Yeah.
The only problem is it's been going for a long time, and I think what's the oldest one, like 30 years or something like that?
Is it?
It's Dolores, and she's been in for 30 years.
She could be based on a real person as well, and I don't know how
But then there's a thing where, like, obviously he's done something to her and kind of is unlocking parts of her coding, but then I don't know if this is what they think or this is what they believe, but it's like the fact that she is old, maybe that's what's wrong with her. Because like, is there limits to this? Is there a finite number of times you can, like, create something so sophisticated and wipe it and give it a new, like, before it starts to overload itself? And that's what they're kind of justifying what's wrong with her, but really it's him. But then, I mean, maybe that's true, and that's why, like, parts of her old thing are breaking through because she's not been properly wiped, she's not been properly reloaded. I don't know. Or is it completely and utterly deliberate by him, by Ford, what he's put into there?
I think all the things that we're saying here put a point across as well that's interesting about it is that there's so much scope for what this can be. There's so many different theories and different possibilities and things like that you're constantly thinking, and I think that's going back to the writing. That's good writing when you're constantly guessing. Because you can either be stuck with something so ridiculous that you can't possibly imagine what could happen next, or it can be ridiculously predictable, in which case it's not controversial. But this is there's so much happening in it that it kind of sparks discussion. And
since Lost as well, I've always been, like, quite, I don't know what's the word, cynical or skeptical of this isn't going to work. Like, in the long, this has only got so long before the wheels fall off it, because you can only ask, like I say, you can only ask so many questions before you start having to answer them. I don't have that apprehension about Westworld. I feel like there's so much depth to it that it's not going to have that lost problem where they just reach a critical mass of how many unanswered questions there can be in it before it stops making sense. you know.
I,
And it's because it's a sci-fi, you can
it was
you can
like
cut corners
And
with
you
it.
can,
a
and you
little
can
bit
push
as well.
boundaries a wee bit and
it was
artistic license.
so was Lost though.
Eventually.
This wasn't
What-
written as, it wasn't marketed as a sci-fi, so when crazy stuff starts happening, I'm going, no, fuck it. Like, there's not a time machine.
It comes
I
back
know
to what
there's
you
slightly more sense to this.
It comes back to what you mentioned earlier about how you don't feel like there's more questions being raised than answered. Take Lost for example. The big question at the end of the first series of Lost is what's down the hatch, and the hatch opens up and no questions are answered other than what's under there, and it's not particularly exciting. But then there's so many more questions because they start introducing all this other stuff.
Who's
from the
Desmond?
hatch.
Who built the hatch? Why is the hatch there?
Why-
What's the button? What happens if you don't press the
Who are
the
that
buttons? Who are the
company? What is it they're called again?
I can't remember. Who are the others? Yeah, it's a bit. It's just.
Who are that? It's just more
I still don't know
questions.
what fucking happens if you don't press that button. I
I
can't
know.
remember.
Oh yeah. Is it not just a social experiment? Nothing happens.
Is that like
Is
a
it not just
magnet? Some
not
sort of
present?
magnetic thing happens? I don't know.
Oh, I remember that did
Something
that.
like
Everything
that.
started shaking and all that.
But you know, I don't think I think they're going about this a little bit more methodically. A little bit. It is
I feel like
more explicitly
yeah,
sci-fi.
I feel like we're in
but
good
it's more
hands.
ordered.
I think we're in safe hands.
Yeah.
Like where I trust the pilot, and I think they'll be able to land it. You know.
The people, there's a couple, I think,
The
that
Dharma
writing
Enterprise and
team
stuff,
that
and
write
all.
this have written, they've worked on a lot of things that are
Of the Dharma Initiative.
pretty good.
The Dharma Initiative.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was going to bug me.
Yeah, this is great though. What's the name? Tandy Newton.
Sandy Newton. Yeah.
Tandy Newton. Yeah, I like
She's
her.
great.
She's so sexy.
Yeah,
No, I'm not a fan.
she's
Apart from
alright.
Fat Boy Run.
Yeah, she's one of
She's in,
those people that I'm never sure
Pursuit of
whether she's
Happiness.
British or American.
She's
Because
British.
she's always acting both in like equal measure, and I
She-
can
she
never
is
remember
British.
what is she British.
She's in
Right.
that thing now that people love that's on BBC. I can't remember what it's called.
What was it?
I've told you about it before. I told you she was in it, but I can't remember what it's
Oh.
called.
I don't watch BBC.
It's like a police thing.
Broadchurch?
Forget it. But yeah, I like her, and that's another role in this one where she's like
She's brilliant.
brilliant.
Maeve is
Maeve.
like one of my favourite characters
I think
because there's a kind of
Robert Ford.
no, I know I said one off.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Jimmy Simpson was good. Yeah, it's fine. Jimmy Simpson is fine. Who's the guy?
What guy?
The
The guy.
the other big A-list actor, not A-list, but the other kind of big actor that's in it that plays the Man in Black. Can't remember his name. I'm
Oh.
just completely blanking on
He's
his
in
name.
24. That
His
guy.
name
He's
is
in so many things. He's in Glengarry Glen
I
Ross
should
as
know
well.
this because I wrote his name in my review, which I'm now going to actually have to consult because I don't remember.
It's so bad I can't remember who it is as well. Cause
He's so famous.
yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
No, but he's good.
We've spoken about everything now, haven't we? Production
Aye,
value.
because we spoke a lot about Dolores because she is amazing and Evan Rachel Wood is. I mean, I know her, but not from roles like this, and she's so good at it. She did so well.
Soundtrack as well, so good.
It's-
Oh, the because we were talking about this earlier, the saloon piano thing that
Yeah, yeah,
plays
yeah.
all the
Oh.
modern music.
Black
and
Hole
it's
Sun.
like Black Hole Sun was the first time I noticed it, but then there's loads more before that and after that as well that you just don't even like.
The thing that I'm talking about, the Tandy Newton's in, is called Line of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Line of Duty.
People have been talking about
Ed
that
Harris.
recently.
Ed
his
Harris,
name.
of course. Ed
Yeah.
Harris. Fuck's sake. I can't believe I blanked on
My
that.
own consulting my own writing here.
He's like not on the same level as Anthony Hopkins, obviously, but he's like
No,
a
he's
properly good actor as well. Where he's just so sinister all the way through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is good.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted this, haven't we? Where does it go now? I think it goes to Samurai World, and I don't think.
Possibly
I get
because
what
they have shown those.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about finding out more about the outside world, but I think that's something to keep for down the line.
I don't necessarily mean quickly, but I would
Yeah.
like to know. Just drip feed me it because I would quite like to know some things.
I think if they are going to do it, it will be drip fed. It possibly, if they start drip feeding it this season, it will become a major theme next season. Like it'll be building up to something to be a cliffhanger to watch next season.
Mhm.
There's one thing. Cause I'm sorry, I am genuinely consulting my own thing here. There's one thing I want to
You're
talk
quoting
about.
yourself.
What?
Quoting
I
yourself.
want to just quote myself there and name drop my own self. Katie McDonald, I write the TV articles. No, but So there was this thing where, because we came late to it, remember? All the bullshit press about how there was a 4-minute orgy.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was raging and like and up in arms, and all the kind of censors were out in force. And then I saw it and I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
This is what people were annoyed about.
Do you know what?
And it just feeds back to that thing that I'm always saying about people being more concerned with like sex than violence, because it's not
Oh, yeah, I mean,
even remotely. First of all, it's not an orgy. Second of all, it's intermittent throughout the episode.
Yeah.
It's not a 4-minute orgy.
It's not extremely graphic.
And it's not
either.
even it's not even like particularly explicit nudity.
But there's so much violence in it. Like,
But there's so much violence in it.
there's
It's
like
unreal.
a super. Is that the opening scene, or it's certainly in like how it ends the first episode with like a really fucking sinister thing with Ed Harris dragging Dolores into
Into
a
the
barn.
barn, and you know what's going to happen. He's
It's
already
so-
he shoots and kills
He
Teddy
kills
in
it.
front
Yeah,
of her,
it's so fucking dark.
and then all that is happening is they're in this kind of house of whatever you would call
about-
House
it.
of the Rising Sun.
Yeah, where people are sort of, it's not an orgy, but it's like swingers. It's like
Yeah.
people just, and they're just kind of randomly in rooms, and it's not even that bad. And I just couldn't believe
What
how
about-
furious people
What about
were.
in that same first episode, the outlaw character, like host that goes and brutalizes this whole bar full of people and then drinks the milk and
Yeah.
there's milk pouring out all of it.
Yeah,
And
it's
does he not vomit it up as well?
there's like
It's
almost
like, what the fuck?
caricaturish levels of violence, and then like a few people in kind of side shot naked is a 4-minute orgy. Like I just couldn't even deal with
You don't
how
even notice it's
ridiculous.
happening. It's
You
just
don't,
there in the
because it's
background.
incidental.
It took
and
me
they're walking
a
through
couple
rooms.
minutes to remember what you were talking about, to be honest.
Exactly, which is how bad or how not bad it actually is.
I don't even think I noticed that that's what it was until
Aye,
because I had heard about it, but I don't think I noticed that that's what they were talking
Yeah,
about until
I
after
didn't-
the episode was
I didn't
finished.
know, but I got all that after it because I just watched the episode and I was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't even think, oh, there's a big orgy in this episode.
Well,
It
see, I didn't
crossed
know
my
what
mind.
episode it was in. So what happened was I
I
watched
watched so
that
many orgies
episode,
though. That's the thing.
and then, well, you know,
I've seen so many
Seen
of
so
them.
many
that
of them.
I'm just desensitized to orgies at this point.
but that's the you joke. But the thing is, we're so desensitized to violence that people are outraged by that,
Yeah.
which wasn't anything. And I
I
just
just think
couldn't
that there's so
understand.
much more graphic sex on television that
Game of
Why?
Thrones.
like Game of Thrones,
True Blood in its day,
Banshee, like is
Was
extremely
outrageous.
graphic.
and it, like.
Nobody complains about any of this.
I mean, I hate to always be this person, right? But it's a quote from Brian Fuller and an extra of Hannibal that I've seen where he like complains about the hoops he had to jump through, because he puts it a really nice way. He says like you can do terrible things to people, but you can't do beautiful things to them. That's what the censors don't like.
That's a great quote.
And
think
he's
we'll-
so correct.
Oh, shall we end it on
We'll end it on that note.
5 stars for me?
Oh yeah, definitely can't wait for series 2.
Evan's not giving us 5 stars.
No.
I'd say 4 because there's
Yeah.
there's so much good about it, but the story just throughout the first series just hasn't been gripping
He
enough.
doesn't like a character.
I think towards the end it gets a bit more gripping, but there's a lot in this towards the start where
But
just
it-
not a lot's happening.
One of these days. See, I got you in Orange is the New Black, so that was a win for character dramas, but it's just not your bag.
Right. 554. What's that?
14.
On an average 4.5. 4 and
4 and
4 and
2/3.
2/3, 4 and 2/3.
So 5.
Fuck it, I'll get a 3 now. I'll get that.
Mathematically, it's a 5.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys. Definitely tune in to Westworld and watch it if you haven't already. You're missing that massive deal. And we'll be back shortly with our next television podcast.
Bye.
Thanks very much for listening to us, guys. Please let us know what you think and get in this debate with us by liking, commenting, retweeting or sharing us to give us a piece of your mind. We're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and WordPress, and we want to hear from you. Thank you very much for the support.